I'm now going to tie a Klinkhammer, and this can be tied in varying sizes from, I don't know, 12, 16, smaller if you can. This is a size 14 hook, a Klinkhammer hook, and with a Klinkhammer, this last 2/3 we're going to tie with a body that will hang beneath the surface, and this end will suspend this body. So it is basically an emerger. And I'm tying with brown power silk, which I catch in behind the eye, about 1/3 up the body, cut off the waist, and tie on, touching turns, round the body, round the shank of the hook rather, right the way down to the real bend in the hook, about there. And then I come back halfway up the shank, and I now put in some very fine copper wire. And I catch that in and tie that down to the base of the hook. And keep this other end out of the way because we'll use that again in a minute. Come back to about 1/3 of the way up from the eye of the hook. And now we want to put in the body. And we do this with dubbing. And I put the dubbing on my way, which is a pinch and a loop, secure the end, lengthen the thread, damp my fingers, and just turn it around the thread and wind down the body. And then every now and then, because it tightens round the thread, just release it a bit as it tightens. When you get to the end, you come back up again. And that is just about right. Now then, with the very fine copper wire, I wind up and over this dubbing with about 2 mm gaps, and this does three things. It gives a nice segmented effect, adds a little sparkle to the body, and it holds the dubbing in too. And when we're up to that position, I just tie it in. And with my scissors, snip off the waist and just secure. Next job is to put in the wing post. And again, I'm using this Antron body wool. It's just so good for wing posts. And I lay that underneath the shank in a loop, like that, and tie it in. And try and compact it a bit, get it a little bit tighter together, because we will be tying hackle around this. And to make that simpler, I now go round the actual wing post itself to actually create a post. And once we've done that, just secure. And there we are. Now then, saddle hackle again, brown saddle hackle. But it's a longer one now, and this is wound around the post. So we catch him in behind the eye. Now, not too tight, because this power silk can cut the stem of the hackle. once round behind the post and back, and then this can be held out of the way. Now then we want to put on the sort of thorax, if you want, the head of the fly, and we use peacock herl. And I've got 3 strands which I again tie on behind the eye, and again this is pretty delicate stuff, so when you wind on with the power silk, very gently, just enough to hold it in place. Snip off this waist here, and then the 3 strands together, we go around the base of the wing post, underneath the hackle. Keep these together if you can. That's it. Around there. And once more. And then secure, again, being careful, just gently. Secure that with the power silk. And snip off the waist. Now then, with the saddle hackle, we tie this with the colour side up around this wing post and try to sort of tie it underneath itself and keep it tight. And these hackle fibres splay out, and when you've done about 3 or 4 turns, just again tie in and secure. And with your scissors, just nip off the waist and hold these hackle fibres back and form your head. And this just keeps it all nice and neat. And then with your whip finish tool, complete. Hold the the fibres back, trying not to get them too many caught. Should do it. Release the whip finish tool, pull him tight, secure, cut off the waist. Now then, with this wing post, if you just stretch him sideways, that just forces these hackle fibres down, and we can now just neaten off around the eye of the hook. Any stray ones underneath. And cut off the wing post to height, to length, like that. Just trim off this back bit. And the hackle fibres can now just be splayed out. Final job, a little head cement just to secure the whippings, and just a little bit on the wing post. And there you have a Klinkhammer. And the hackle helps it float. This is your sighter, and this part of the body will hang in the water. Absolutely fabulous fly.